One of the smallest things that I have noticed that irritates me to hell regarding men.
And what are we complaining about today about men? Just for the sake of complaining.
Is the way that men will call each other brother at any given chance, but you will never hear them calling a woman sister.
Some women are just nitpicking now.
And I believe that this is so frustrating.
Only for those that are jealous.
The brotherhood of being a man is so alive and well. This idea of protecting each other, caring for each other, finding friendship in each other, even with strangers. They just have to mildly smile at each other and they'll be like, hey brother, how you doing?
So, what's wrong with that?
I have never heard a man say anything that welcoming to a woman.
Of course. For some, it always comes back to, how can I feel slighted today?
Women are seen as inherently sexual objects. Thus, such terms would not go hand in hand, for obvious reasons.
Some will really go to almost any length to try to victimize themselves in some way, just so they can avoid being responsible for the words that come out of their mouth.
There will always be an in crowd for them to be a part of that women will never be able to be a part of. And I'm not saying it is all down to the term brother, but it is a very small indication of that.
That sounded like it was coming from a place of jealousy. So instead of trying to tear down men for the closeness that many of them have with each other, why doesn't a person try to promote the closeness of women so that a person can feel like they're part of a community that someone obviously so wants to be a part of?
I mean, I feel like modern women, they've cornered the market on bothering people. They've cornered the market for unnecessary nagging, for being an annoyance. And I don't understand why. This literally has nothing to do with you. Leave people alone.
I'm not talking to guys like you.
What the fuck?
What do you mean?
Shot?
No, I'm saying like you're
All right,
you're not in
let's
my
get
circle.
the other girl in here. What's her name? Melissa. All right, thank you, Kazumi.
That's not rude, that's unbothered. And if you haven't taken a page out of this man's book, you ought to look at it. Men are so done. Men across the board are so done. They're not begging, they're not chasing, and they're not changing. If you don't like them, see you later, bye. Done are those days where women can manipulate, play emotional games, and do whatever psychological, emotional manipulation that they want to try. Because it's just not working anymore. The emotional intelligence has just escalated, so the game is seen. They see the game. So all of you out there who are still thinking that you can manipulate, the majority of men are already at the, yeah, I'm good. They see your red flag a mile away. Insert clip here.
This is how you fuck with a man's head, but in a way that gets him hooked and makes him fantasize about you. And before I give you the step-by-step guide, don't be telling me in the comments how toxic this is, because baby girl, this is what it's intended to be. You have to make him suffer. You have to humiliate him. They fall in love with you when they're terrified of losing you. You have to stop lying to yourself, because you truly think by being sweet and kind and reassuring that he's gonna obsess over you. In reality, it makes you forgettable and how to have the upper hand and get into his head without even saying a single word. I messed up worse than I thought. Am I losing her? That right there is what you want to trigger. That right there is how you get into a man's head.
You have women out here right now teaching how to use dark psychology to get a man. And men are watching this and literally being like, you know, we can see this too, right? So then we know what to look for and what not to date. But anyway, keep making your videos because it's also showing the men who the fuck not to date. Please keep showing us your red flags. Unbothered.
And this is something that men continue to say. You know that we can see you, right? Like this is going to everyone, especially if it goes viral. Multiple men can see this. So when you're talking about, I don't want a man to approach me anywhere, I don't want a man to do this. If a man does this, I'm going to blast him on the internet. And then you're saying, what are you worried about? Just be confident. Well, who's going to put you all over the internet? And a man can literally pull out his phone and within seconds, maybe even a minute, starting from the time he gets on his phone and it takes him to get into the app and then search up a couple of things, he can find within a minute or two women talking reckless about how they don't want a man to, I don't, no, well, it's only these women. No, this is what they said. I saw you say it. What do y'all think is going to happen if somebody hears you saying something and then they hold you accountable for what you said?
I'm just saying, if you're going to be feminist,
Gotta
you
be
can't
realistic.
be feminist until the check comes. You got to pony up. You got to pay half the bill. Tell me why.
Absolutely not. Sorry. That's why I go back to saying masculine men. Masculine men will always pick up that tab no matter what. They have no problem
Sure.
picking up that tab, and they will actually never let a woman pay for it, especially if it's his
I love
woman.
this. Yes.
He will not let her pull out her wallet ever.
So, what do men owe to women?
Nothing.
Well,
what do you mean? That's
You're saying a masculine man would never let a woman pay. So he has some degree of, there's a female-driven expectation on men. What does he get in return for being a masculine man?
to be in the presence of a woman.
Okay, so what do women have to do? What is a woman's duty? You're saying a man has a duty to pay for first dates,
Yeah.
to be a provider, to be a masculine, all these things. What do women have to do?
Show up. Be
That's
a
it?
woman. Be the woman
Just show
that,
up?
that like
What if I
do
said
you
that? I just
understand
have to
what it is
show
such
up.
a privilege it is to
It's
even
privilege.
be
Okay,
to
so
have
women
a
are
very
privileged.
And it's alarming, quite honestly, because modern women think that this is something that men want. They feel like, oh yeah, you get to be in my presence. That they're so lazy in their thought that they say, okay, here's what a man needs to be doing. He needs to be doing X, Y, and Z. But for us, we don't have to do anything but show up. We just have to be ourselves. We've fought so hard, we've struggled so much that now we just get to get up, show up, and be a bum.
Go take a look at all of the nasty, sourpuss-faced women, single women, in her comments fighting for her right to be a gold digger. Like, bitch, excuse me, I need you to stay in your single, lonely little lane over there and let us women who are actually taken, because we're not insufferable biznatches, let us handle it, okay? Because you clearly don't know what the fuck is going on. For a woman to look at you and be like, wow, this man bought me a really expensive ring because he thought that that's what would be important to me, but what's more important is investing in our future. To say that, you are a saint. You are a saint, and I can see genuinely exactly why she's married, and all of these other nasty biznatch face hoes in the comments are single and complaining. Okay, thank you.
These modern women are miserable. They're never going to be happy for you, bro. Ever. They're not happy. And this is the same thing. Now, notice now, this is a white lady that we're talking about. This is a white woman. There was recently a black woman going viral for saying, they told me not to cook for this man. They told me not to clean for this man. They told me not to do all of this stuff for this man. But now look, I got the ring. Moral of the story, pack that man's lunch. And women were jumping all down our throat. Oh, watch what he do to you. Even married women talking stupid. You want the man to take care of you, to pay all of the bills. You're already married, talking stupid. This reminds me of the woman that's saying, basically, her husband wanted her to watch Rocky. And this is just mind-blowingly stupid, mind-blowingly absent from all thought. Y'all want men to watch, read, listen, and understand the stuff that you send to them, the stuff that you give them. Y'all want them to understand that. But then when a man says, man, I want you to watch Rocky, I think it's one of the most romantic things that, somebody can possibly come across. Huh? How is that? And a man has to go back and explain to you, instead of you trying to get the mind and understanding of a man, which would help you to connect more to your husband, you're talking about, I don't see it as romantic. But that's a man's idea of romance. Aren't you in love with a man? So yes, he would have a different idea of romance. Y'all want a man to accept what you got going on, but you don't want to accept what a man's got going on. Y'all want a man to cook, to clean, and then take out the trash, and then mow the lawn, and then fix the car, and then protect and provide, and come with all the money. But y'all don't, God forbid a woman say, I think you spent too much money on this, babe. I love it, but let's go do something else. Let's get something a little bit cheaper Because maybe we can take that money and we can spend it on the wedding. Maybe we can take that money and we can spend it on the honeymoon. Maybe we can take that money and have a nice little wedding, have a nice little honeymoon, but we got to come back and live. So let's spend it on coming back and making sure we're set. Let's put it toward a mortgage payment. You and I have been wanting home ownership since we started talking about, when we first started talking dating and all that stuff. We've been wanting this for a long, long time. Let's put all that money towards that. I think I'll be okay. Catch me in another 10 years. We'll go get something upgraded. But modern women are so useless and miserable that they would want you to be in the same state as them.
So there's this guy, he's standing over there. He has like blonde hair, like red beard. He's a little short, but he's really sexy at the same time. I'm gonna go see if he is interested. Like he's staring at me and I'm staring at him. But like he's not doing anything. So, it's kind of empty in here. So. I don't know, maybe this is the time I actually say something. It's been a while. I don't want to interrupt him. I'm so fucking mad. Oh, he's working out. He's really focused. See him. He's kind of surrounded by people. I'm just gonna go say hi. You look good. What you working on?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
The fuck it looks like I'm in the gym working out. Give me a favor. I'm over here with my wife. Don't bother me, please.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Women, you take zero accountability, and really, y'all don't listen to shit, to be quite honest. A man is, if you ask a man what he wants, he will say peace. Immediately, a lot of women will hear the word peace and be triggered. And somehow they heard him say he want a woman he can walk all over top of and ain't gonna say nothing. That's not what that means. I think a lot of times women are more committed to being right and the argument than they are the solution. Men are logical thinkers and we, women, are emotional. All of that emotion is not necessary all of the time. I mean, mouths talking to the men like they children, disrespectful in words and in tone. I mean, what response are you looking for from a man when you come to him like that? Especially somebody you consider your man. Like, what are you looking in return for? I mean, it's the entitlement of a soft landing when you are causing chaos really everywhere because of your emotions. Men are not as emotional. They are logical thinkers. They are solution based majority of the time. They do not respond well to all of that emotion. Sometimes you got to leave a little bit of that shit off. I mean, I've even heard women say, yeah, I'm not doing all that. I mean, I'm not his wife. That's what wives do. Well, how do you think that he's going to ever see a wife in you if you don't show up looking like a wife or acting like a wife? That's how wives get seen. That's how wives get found. Because y'all are, all of this, you don't go and find a husband.
I just got so much backlash off of a video that I made talking about how if my husband says something to my kids, I don't go against that in front of them. And I stand on it. I had women calling me a pick-me, saying that that's going to be abuse for my kids, and all kinds of crazy, reckless stuff in the comments. But you know what? Yeah, you're right. I am a pick-me. And my husband picked me. That's not abuse. That's showing that my husband is the head of my household. That's showing how much I respect and the admiration that I have for my husband of him being the provider of my home. Y'all are tripping. And this, my friend, is the problem that we're having right now. You grew up 9 times out of 10 in a single parent household. You didn't see your mama getting told nothing. You saw her running everything. And my friend, now you're doing the same thing. I even had somebody in the comments say, yeah, no, I'm the provider. I am the head. That is wild. And honestly, that gotta be so exhausting to have to bark orders all day long, all the time. Never being able to just sit back and be. My heart go out to her. And any other woman that's always the head and always running stuff in her house. Because when will you get a break? All right, bye.
Watch this lady.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can Save £50 per person. That's £200 off for
So if you guys don't know the context in the video, that man is married, and she's the office, probably hoe, because why else would you go up to a man who's married and decide to feed him a pineapple? Now, it wouldn't bother me if a woman decided to give him a plate of food or give him something, because again, there's nothing wrong with offering people food when you're a nice person. There's women who are very nurturing and love to make sure that everybody else around them eats, especially, you know, Hispanic women, a culture thing. I don't know what culture feeds other people's men, but don't get your jaw rearranged thinking you're cute, because stuff like that is dumb as fuck. And I find it so funny that when he flung out the pineapple, the woman acts shocked and she's laughing. You knew what you were doing, one, because you guys still posted this, and then two, you're feeding a married man, and then people in the comments are saying, you know, this is how most men should be. This is the reason why I don't believe all men cheat. I see so many videos of men doing stuff like this, and kudos to y'all. I wouldn't cheat with somebody who's doing stuff like this. I wouldn't cheat at all, but if you're so easily tempted by a girl who probably does that to every single guy she comes across, man, you gotta get locked down. Seriously, you gotta lock it up. Me personally, though, this shit's disgusting. I would never want to do this with a married dude. I don't know what girls get out of doing stuff like this. There are so many single men, like more single men than there ever was in this world. I'll never understand wanting somebody else's man, especially because, like I said, I always say this, you guys, you never know how the wife is. You never know how the partner is. She could be triple crazy. She could come to your job and pop off. I know for a fact, if my husband didn't tell me this and I seen a viral video of this, I would wait for you to come outside of the job. That's all I'm going to say. I don't like when people fuck with what's mine. I feel like it's off limits. But you will meet your maker fucking with somebody like me. Leave me the hell alone. Leave mines the hell alone. I'm glad he actually didn't like intervene with a woman like that, because it's disgusting.
So I'm stuck on the side of the highway with a flat tire in a thunderstorm. I said, I'm not going to call my sister first. My sister always come through. I'm going to call one of these guys. To come help. It hurt my ego to say the responses. I'm not even going to hold you. It does hurt my ego. One said, I'm not a tire shop. Two said, it's raining too hard. Three didn't answer. One guy asked if I was okay. One guy asked if someone's coming to help me. One person showed basic empathy. Make them lonelier.
Sometimes when nobody is giving you credit, it's because you're eating everybody up. We live in a world where people love to clap for mediocrity, but stay silent when you're actually standing out. And then you'll start to wonder, like, why isn't anybody acknowledging me? Why don't I get the same recognition? And the reason is, when you're really operating at a high level, when your talent, discipline, and results speak louder than words, people notice. They just don't always say it. Some stay quiet because they're intimidated. Some stay quiet because they don't want to admit that you're doing better than them. And some stay quiet because deep down, they're comparing themselves to you. But silence does not mean you're not seen. It usually means you're shaking things up, okay? You're setting a standard that makes others uncomfortable, and that's okay, because you weren't called to fit in. You were called to dominate. Don't let the lack of credit discourage you. Let it fuel you, because the ones who are really locked in don't need applause to keep going. You know the work you're putting in. You know the sacrifices you're making, and you know the results you are about to walk into. So the next time you feel overlooked, remember this. Sometimes the reason nobody is giving you credit is because you're eating everybody up. And when the results speak for themselves, you will not need anybody's validation. The success will make all the noise.
So we talked about down the road and the potential of us getting married and having kids. How do you feel about a prenup?
I mean, I have been exposed to so many women that are moms, that are married, in relationships that they're going through a divorce process and they have nothing.
Yeah.
And they're starting literally from ground zero. One of my biggest fears is, you know, thinking you have everything and you're good and then just getting the rug pulled out from underneath you. So I never want to be in a position where that happens to me.
Yeah. Okay, so in my personal opinion, like you lived your entire life without me in it until a few weeks ago. Like coming into it, you should keep whatever you've built. And I should keep whatever I built. And then once we start together on a journey of marriage and down that path, then we split everything 50-50.
Yeah,
But I do think a prenup is necessary for the both of us.
Yeah. I just hear so much regret and they wish they could have done something differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Talking about divorce already feels so unnatural. I don't want to talk about that. It makes me realize that we really have been living in a bubble, and in reality, we kind of really just met.
I just don't even, I don't know.
Why people don't want love is because most women want their bills paid. They don't want love.
Oh.
They got 4 or 5 people because they got more than 4 or 5 bills. And I think as long as we're in this transactional era of time, it's never going to be able to get back to love. We got to focus on the core value of what actually matters inside of a relationship. And we've strayed too far. Honestly, don't get mad at me. I know there's a lot of ladies in here.
I'm seeing all the faces behind you.
It's the truth. You know, honestly, we live in a prostitution era.
Wow.
Can we please cut this fucking bullshit where women are saying, I left because I felt unsafe. I felt unheard. I felt... I don't believe that. I honestly don't. Because women are pushing their insecurities onto men. You left him because of your feelings. I honestly hate this. It's a huge cop-out to not take accountability for her personal destruction in her own life and the way that she's destructed the own relationship. Like, whenever women go on the internet being all like, well, the moment he makes me feel unloved, I'm gonna leave. Nah, you made yourself feel unloved. But you're projecting that onto him because you don't want to admit that you're feeling insecure. You are looking at him to fill an unfulfillable void. Like, y'all are seriously leaving people because of your feelings? Seriously? Do you want a man to leave you because of his feelings? And I'm not even trying to say that these women are bad people. Like, I know a lot of you guys probably think like, oh, you know, based on the things Jenna says, it means I should leave. I am not an advocate for leaving someone. I'm an advocate for believing that they can change, building them up as a person. Because at the end of the day, we do need to take accountability for the way that people treat us because they're always reflecting us because we attract who we are. At the end of the day, like... women should stop caring about their feelings too much. It's gonna destroy everything, right? So if you're the type of girl who left a man based on your feelings, better fucking apologize because he was probably a good man and, you know, you couldn't take it. A lot of women cannot handle being with a good man because then all of their insecurities are coming out and then the man doesn't even fucking know how deep her insecurities are because she's not fucking talking about it, and then she's sabotaging the relationship, and then he's thinking, oh, she doesn't want anything serious with me, when in reality she's just so fucking insecure and maybe she's not even self-aware of it. Like, it's just like, stop bullshitting people. Like, it's not his fault the way that you're feeling. You're an adult. Take responsibility for it. But do not fucking leave a good man because you don't like that he didn't do something the specific way that you wanted him to do it. Respect a man's timing. He's gonna do things on his own timing, and that's okay. One-on-one coaching and bio.
And this is what men keep on saying. But there's a lot of dudes out there that are they're self-aware enough to know, hey, I've got some part to play in this. I need to fix that. But it's only me fixing stuff, not you. You don't find that weird? That I'm having to do things right and I'm having to fix things and I'm having to correct things left and right, but there's nothing that you ever do wrong. And once again, the only thing that you apologize for is the tension, the way things have happened, you're not really sorry about anything that you did, why would a man want to be around that? You don't think that maybe a man would get tired of that and just walk away from it? He would just let you do what you do and leave you alone?
I'm going to let her talk, and I'm going to explain after.
To coach our coaches' classes in session. Let's decode what men really mean when they say certain things. Excuse number 1. If he says, I'm so stressed out, he's broke. Says, I'm going through a lot, he's broke. If he says, I'm fighting my demons right now, he's broke. If he says, I have a lot on my plate, he's broke. Last but not least, if he says, I'm severely overwhelmed, what does that mean, class? He is broke. Good job. A's across the board.
Now, I'm not going to go with the unhammered attacks and attack her figure at all. I'm just going to speak what she said. I'm going to attack the argument. Now, I did make a comment on her page, and here it is. And I said, nah, rich men go through other things besides finances. This applies specifically for ones who aren't rich. Hey, she's just talking about the money. Now, like I said, I wasn't going to attack her. I'm just going to attack the argument. Typically, when women say, I'm working on myself, she big as fuck. Typically, when women say, I'm battling demons, she big as fuck. And when women say, I don't feel good and something is wrong and I'm mentally going through something, you guessed it. She big as fuck. And you want to get married. Pack it up.
It was so nice to meet you.
It was so nice to meet you too.
Yeah, maybe we'll do this again.
Bye-bye. 3 science-backed problems with this sort of passive-aggressive approach. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living. Number 1, it signals controlling and coercive behavior. That is not something you want in a partner. Number 2, this kind of passive-aggressive approach signals hostility and contempt. That is the number 1 predictor of divorce, according to the foremost researcher on relationships and marriage satisfaction, John Gottman. Look it up. Number 3, this sort of passive-aggressive approach shows a chronic lack of reciprocity. That is not something you want in a relationship. If you don't have give and take, back and forth, 50-50 equity, you're in big trouble, buddy. If you're sick of the noise from the influencers, tired of the hot takes, follow me for daily science-backed reels or click on the link in my bio for free guides and more.
All of a sudden you got high standards, but the men you was dealing with in the past, you didn't have high standards for. Nothing but bums you was dealing with. They couldn't even fill your tank up. Nothing but bitches and hoes to them. But with him, he got to talk to you a certain way, huh? With a certain tone. And he got to be respectful. All of a sudden, you fucking with him and you require this, to and the third from him, right? You need your hair and nails done every week, right? Nail, hair money, every week, every 2 weeks to a man is nothing. But stop making it seem like it's a requirement just to fuck with you. This the same girl that got an apartment in the hood. Baby, you riding around in a bucket asking for a Chanel bag. So how you got high standards but don't even got high standards for yourself? Got ran through, now you got standards? Okay.
I don't want to take money from a man. I want to make money with him. Like, do you know how powerful it feels to build with somebody? Like, to hit your first million together. To know your relationship is feeding legacy and not just lifestyle. Because we can lay up all day, we can go here, we can go there, but like, what are we really doing? Yes, spoil me, I love that, but let's multiply it. Let's buy the block, let's buy some buildings. Let's really build generational wealth and create something that no one can take away. Because I know if I can make money with my man, if I can build with my man, nobody can touch that. Love is cute, it's cute, but building wealth, that's another intimacy. Like, that's intimacy on another level. So don't give me allowance, give me alignment and I'm good.
I hate when y'all say, I'm not doing wifely duties for a man, and it just be cooking. What? Since when does wifely duties begin and end in the kitchen? We're talking about cooking? We're not talking about praying for a man, reminding him about annual checkups, sewing that hole in his pants that he ripped at work, reminding him that his car insurance is due on the 15th. We're not talking about none of that.
We talking about practice.
We're just talking about cooking. If you have a sentimental attachment to cooking, I'm not talking about y'all. But if you're just doing it out of spite because you still ain't got a ring, that's no bueno. I'm talking about that woman who act like she can't make that man a plate of her shrimp Alfredo because that's wifely duties. Well, what about the husband duties? What if that man decided, you know what? I don't want to pay for everything. I don't want to stand on the outside of the curb in case a car jumps the sidewalk and hits both of us. It's an intruder in the middle of the night, and I don't want to protect you because that's husbandly duties. He gonna do all that for a girl who can't even make him a plate of her Alfredo? Some women will tell you they do not want to do wifely duties, but expect their man to do husband duties. Reciprocate. You have to be willing to do one to get the other. I say this with love. And a hit dog going holler. A majority of the women who I see complaining that they don't want to cook for a man because it's wifely duties are women who can't cook. Once you get the flick of the wrist, you don't care.
Unpopular opinion, but most women are not ready to be wives. They're not. Because that better or for worse part is going in one ear and out the other. It's going in one ear and out the other. Y'all romanticize the beautiful, the pictures, the provider man, the dates, all of the things. But if life comes and smacks y'all asses upside the head, how are you going to hold that man down? What are you going to do if that man's situation changes? Something happens to that man and he can't do what he does for the union. What are you going to do? You going to leave him? Real food for thought. Real food for thought. I'm just saying, think about it. Because I really, from what I'm observing, a lot of y'all will crumble under the pressure that real life comes with. I'm just saying.
This is a story that a girl told that I think about all the time.
Another example of the blind leading the blind. Viewer discretion is advised.
She was at the mall. She didn't have her hair done, nails done, face done, didn't have on a great outfit, but she's the type of girl who's always done up. A man comes up to her at the mall. He says, "You're so beautiful. I'd love to get to know you more. Like, let's exchange information." She thinks he's attractive, but she turns him down. Her reasoning was the most mind-blowing thing ever to me.
I can almost assure you it's probably not going to be that amazing.
She said that because he was interested in her while she looked a little bit run down and unkept, she knows that that man is not her type. The type of man she likes would never go for a woman who does not look well kept.
I told you it wasn't going to be amazing. There was nothing mind-blowing about that. And the reason there's nothing mind-blowing about it is because a lot of them think when they have their hair done, nails done, makeup on point, they believe that's the real them. They believe when they are in their natural state, when they don't have any enhancements, that's the ugly version of them. That's when they are unkept. How dare you find her natural beauty attractive? They've lost the plot, gentlemen, and ain't nothing we could do to fix that.
And that makes perfect sense. The type of woman that a man goes for will determine if he's actually your type. You are lying if you say that you couldn't look at a list of women that a man has been with and say, "Oh yeah, you're not gonna like me." Because you know what type of women are similar to you and which aren't. She was saying, if you like me while I look like this, you don't like me for real.
I think what's most baffling is Shorty was at the mall. And the thing about the mall is most people don't go there any kind of way, especially if they have high standards. One thing I know about women that keep up with themselves, even when they dress down, they still look good. So if she feels as if she was just so low that he couldn't find her attractive, you're not really who you think you are. Because you could put any fine woman in a fucking crop top, jeans, and some sandals, and she walk into a mall. If she's really like that, men are going to find her attractive.
This isn't how I usually look. This is the exception. You aren't going to like the rule. It has literally stuck with me forever. So, I want...
Yeah, I know it. The blind leading the blind. I'm just really curious on how bad this woman really looked. Because if her standard is so high, dressing down, you shouldn't be that far away. I don't know what their beef is with natural women or their natural selves, but the shit is really fucking weird. But hey, you know, they ain't gotta listen to me. I'm just a normal guy. I keep the change.
But you looking like that on the outside, you going to the mall is the exception because you're not going to be at the mall all the time. Okay, well, I'm going to be out and I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that. But I'm going to probably be the one that sees you in your natural state at home. So I want to see what you look like in your natural state at home. Oh, well, I'm always done. I'm always this. I'm always that. Please stop it. Y'all not like the women in the old days where they just be sitting around the house dressed up. Grandma, where you going? I ain't going nowhere. This is just how I was taught to dress. Around the house? Yep. Around the house. Y'all not really like that. So stop acting like that. Stop trying to put yourself in that era. You're going to be at home at some point in time because too many women tell us and confirm it to us. What you're going to do is you're going to get comfortable. You're not going to wear makeup. You're going to be coming out the room looking dead or near dead, hair all over your head, a large t-shirt and some warm-ups on, breath hot. I want a man to love me. Oh, he loves me. He thinks I look beautiful like this. That's what a man is looking for. I want to know what you actually look like versus the done up you. You sitting up here trying to tell me. So basically, because you don't like me when I'm fake, but you see it as effort. Well, you don't like me when I put in effort. How are you going to handle me? Because I put in effort all the time. But a man don't see it that way. He sees it as, well, I'm putting on for somebody else. I'm putting on for the world. But once I strip down, once I take all this off, it's just me and him chilling. I like that version of you. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the version of you where you get done up. Y'all don't really understand men for real. I like all facets of you, but I want to get to know the real you first so I can understand all sides of you. I want to get to know the one that don't got no makeup on, that ain't all done up and all looking cute. So when you put the makeup on, oh, that's another part of you. Okay, cool. So when you put that dress on, or when you change, you get a little gray in your hair, you gained a few pounds. Oh, okay, I see you changing. Now, I'm not saying go crazy out there and be unhealthy, but what I'm saying is a man gets to know you in different facets. Like I said, I'm not saying, well, my values change and I'm talking crazy to him and go feminism. I'm talking about people naturally change. They go through natural ebbs and flows of who they are. And because the man knows who you are at your core, then if you say something out of pocket, then he's going to be able to say, oh, that's not her. She's just having a bad day. If you do something that's out of pocket, he'll be able to say, oh, that's not her. She's just having a bad day or she's going through a rough time. And he's going to know how to support you because I know the real you. I'm intimate. I'm close. I'm in tune with who she really is outside of the public eye. Y'all don't understand that because y'all are too busy being fake and focused on what a woman wants versus what a man wants, which is why you can't find a man.
I'm a pick me because I don't need a man to be rich and famous for me to cater to him, for me to nurture him, for me to be feminine and submissive. But if that nigga's rich and famous and he chose you, y'all wouldn't hesitate to line up to fuck with them niggas. You bitches are dying to be kissed by Chris Brown. That nigga told your stupid ass to get on your knees and bark like a dog. All you hoes will line up to do that. So wouldn't that make you a pick me too? Oh, okay. But you not a pick me for a good, hard-working man, but you a pick me for Chris Brown. Oh, okay. The reason why y'all think calling somebody a pick me is a insult is because nobody's picking you, babe. That's why you're mad. Whether he has money or not, they're not choosing you to be their wife, let alone their girlfriend.
I want a wife that will know exactly what to say when I'm broken and I'm confused and I'm up and I'm on the brink of destruction and I woke up to we're about to lose it all. And yet the covering of my wife and what she's saying and what she's praying over me gives me a level of reassurance that we're going to be okay when the whole world is crumbling in on me. Some of these want to get married. You don't even know what to say when I'm up. So you just hear. This dress ain't gonna make me feel better. Your cleavage ain't gonna get me through that I'm dealing with right now. The jiggle and the wiggle ain't gonna fix none of this. The wiggle ain't gonna pay the mortgage unless we go on OnlyFans. You want it because it looks good, but what do you do with it?
I don't have an OnlyFans.
What do you do with it once you have it? I can't wait to get married. Do you even know what it is?
No, that's good. That's good.
Men are the perfect example of I'm gonna let you do what you want to do so I can see what you rather do. They will stand by, they will let you do all the things that you think are right. They are not gonna coerce you, they are not going to tell you how to act. They're not going to tell you what they think you should do. They're going to stand by and let you do everything that you think you should be doing. They're not going to say nothing. But in their mind, they're watching everything that you do. You thinking that, oh, I ain't did nothing wrong the whole time. They're tallying up everything that you're doing and they're putting it into a category. Men know. They know right away. Pretty early if they're going to marry you. They know pretty early if they're going to treat you like a whore. They know pretty early based on your actions how they are going to treat you. They will spend money on you. They will sleep with you until they are done with you. But in their mind, they know that they will never marry you. They just aren't going to tell you that.
So hold on, let me get this right. You want a man with good communication skills, but when this man is trying to communicate with you, you're trying to find trigger words to now flip it on him and make it seem like he's the problem, right? You're not listening to understand. You're listening just to react. You're listening just to respond. If you was to be quiet, like a woman is supposed to do, be quiet and actually hear him out, you will understand that he is not the issue. You are the issue. You will understand the real issue that he's bringing to you. So you guys can come to an understanding and get past this. Not only that, you got mood swings. So one day you good, one day you not. You overthink, you assume. And maybe you come with 1 to 2, maybe 3 kids. So I'm confused here. Who is the problem? How are you his piece? Baby, you gonna have to bring more than just your body and a pretty face. As y'all be coming into these relationships or these situations thinking y'all so entitled. Be having all these boundaries and standards with baggage and does not bring peace. So what is he gaining from this? Body? A pretty face? You gotta bring more than that.
Men shouldn't date broke women. Men shouldn't date broke women. Because what does broke people do? They bring chaos. They bring confusion. They bring anger. They bring jealousy. And they bring entitlement. If you're dating somebody who's broke, how would you ever make more money? How would you ever grow past that ceiling? How would you ever leave your comfort zone? That's why men shouldn't date broke women and women shouldn't date broke men. Because if you're broke, that's a reflection of your character. If you're broke, that's a reflection of your ambition. That's a reflection of your laziness, because we all have the same 24 hours. It's so many ways to get money. It's so many ways to get money. So people should have that standard of not dating broke people, not because you are being money hungry, you want to take their money, but you looking at this person's character. So if you're dating somebody with that type of mindset and with that type of finance to show for it, that says everything. I was broke before. My whole family was broke before. But my character, my willpower, my discipline made me get up every single day and find different ways to make money. I was doing hair. I was selling chips and candy at school. Then I started a digital business. Now I'm 21. I made over $1 million. And I was broke before. But my character pulled me out of that situation and made something out of nothing, right? And then I teach people how to not be broke. I teach people how to create digital offers and sell online. So like when they post and get likes and views and comments, people gonna buy their stuff. I'll tell you about that in the caption. But I'm just saying that to say, you have a chance to make money. So don't get offended by this. You have a chance. You have a chance to make money. But when you're dating, don't date broke people. Period.
A wife.
The man failed in some type of way. Even if she cheated, he probably wasn't paying attention to her. He wasn't attentive. He might have cheated first. The immediate assumption is he deserves it, or he didn't provide an environment for her to be her best, most optimal self. But the reverse is not the case. If he cheated, it's because he's a shitty individual, point blank period.
Yeah.
There's no thought of where she failed or how she wasn't accommodating of him or how whatever the case may be. So it's almost like the only human in a relationship is the woman. The only person who's deserving of consideration or sympathy is the woman. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of dudes check out, because not only do women not think we should have standards, we don't think we should have standards. We don't think we should have we blame ourselves. If her pussy not wet, it's my fault. If my dick don't get hard, it's my fault.
Without a doubt. That's true. You want me to listen to you, but you don't want to listen to me.
But it's still your fault.
It's still
though.
your fault.
You didn't create an environment for her to be attentive.
Exactly.
And this and that.
So several years ago, I had a housewarming / birthday party event. I sent out the gift registry, and closer to the day of the party, I realized that people were not purchasing things off the gift registry, so I was getting annoyed. I tell one of my friends' situationship at the time, I said, I'm really gonna be annoyed if people really show up empty-handed to this doubleheader event when all the food, drinks, etc. were provided for you. Like, how are you raised? Are you okay? So I told him that in passing. We get to the day of the event. He takes me out to his car, and he was like, I don't wanna see you annoyed. Purchased everything on my gift registry. A standard. I mentioned it once. And he took immediate action. A standard. Second situation that I can think of, I had COVID. He calls me, he was like, hey, do you want to hang out today? I said, no, sorry, I have COVID, I'm gonna be at the apartment. He was like, okay, are you gonna be there all day? I said, yes. He was like, okay, feel better. Within the hour, he dropped off a get well soon basket. Didn't even say anything. I just got a notification from the doorman, and he was already well on his way. I call him, and he was just like, yeah, I was just thinking of you, I hope that you feel better. And that was it. And you want me to settle?
So if he was so great, why you not with him? It's so funny when women share these stories of these amazing or rich guys that they've experienced, but they are never with them currently though. I mean, he sound like a swell nigga to me. He bought the whole registry, dropped off a care package when you were sick, handled everything without being asked. But he's just a story now. See, women love using these highlight reels from men who either never claimed them or from men that they never liked. A lot of y'all treat these moments like test drives. You like how it feels, but you never choose the man that actually made you feel that way. Then you hold the next man to a bar set by somebody that you left behind. Think about that. If he wasn't good enough to be with, but he's good enough to become the standard, I don't make the rules. I just play the game. It's a dirty game. Stay focused though.
His money is my money. My money is my money. That's the standard when you're with a real man. A provider doesn't see providing as a burden. The wrong man will call this gold digging, and the right man will call this partnership.
This is not partnership, this is a red flag. And I know most women will agree with me. This is straight against feminism, imposing patriarchy, gender norms, inequality, and privileges. So his money is his money, my money is my money, and together it's our money.
A real man ain't going to see providing as an issue in any circumstance unless the circumstance is manipulation. And that's what you're describing right here. You're wanting a man to see, but deny his instinct. Y'all say to yourselves, your gut is never wrong. Trust your gut. But when something comes across the desk of a man and he's like, man, this looks like gold digging. This looks like this woman don't like me for me. You're thinking about it wrong, sir. You are not a real man. Isn't that funny? Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. You'll shame me. You'll insult me because of what I see, because of what I caught, because I'm holding you accountable for calling me not a real man. I'm not a real man to you because I stop you and say, hey, wait a minute. There's something that's not right about this. Let's hold on. You want a man and his instincts to be able to protect you. Well, do you think those instincts stop when it comes to you? What y'all try to do is only tick on the instincts that you want and then tick off the instincts that you don't want. Ooh, accountability, talking to me like I done something wrong. I'm going to flick all that off. Talking to me and telling me that I need to improve on this and I need growth. Taking all that off. Y'all have to y'all don't want provided men for real. That's all I got to say. Y'all don't want provided men for real. Y'all rather find a man to shame and tell him, well, this is what you are. This is where you should be. But then you're going to get mad at the man because you telling him where to go and he going where you tell him to go. And then, well, he not leading me. He not doing all of this for me. He not this, he not that. And I just need a real man to just put me in my place. Well, he did until you told him he's not a real man. Y'all so stupid, man. Anyway.
So ladies, if you're not showing
the behaviors of a wife before the man puts a ring on your finger, then why would he want to put a ring on your finger? I hear so many women on the internet, in person, talk about, oh, well, I'm not doing all that because I'm not a wife. I'm not going to cook for him during the dating phase because I'm not a wife. I'm not going to support him during the dating phase because I'm not a wife. I'm not going to take him out on a date even though he done took me on 10 dates and paid for him because I'm not a wife. But what you don't realize is that during the dating phase, the talking phase, the relationship phase is when a man actually determines if you have the qualities of a wife. So if you're showing him that you're not a wife during these phases, then guess what? You're not going to get the ring. Because here's man's logic, because women's logic be dumb, right? Man's logic is, if she's not showing me wife qualities before the ring, why would a ring then suddenly make her want to start being a wife? You're either a wife or you're not. So some of y'all want to be married, but y'all be holding y'all own selves back because y'all stubborn in these messed up mindsets that literally make no sense. If you want to be a wife, you need to be a wife in training during the dating and relationship phase. Okay?